The movie starts with him filling in for a conductor who got sick. He comes in, he does a great job, and that's what sets him off on his career. You know, when he gets the call to replace the conductor, he's in bed with a man. You see that it's, you know, he's clearly in a homosexual relationship. But he doesn't seem to be committed to anyone, because when he meets her, he falls for her at a party.
Hello, I'm Lenny.
Hello, Felicia.
And he introduces her to the man that he was with. You could see it in that man's face that he was a little disappointed.
The guy's face, like, that's how you break up with me? You just introduced me to a new girl? You're straight now? Or what's the deal here? That kind of shows what kind of person he is. Like, people are disposable to him.
But he says, I love people, but doesn't seem like he really respects the relationship. Right in front of her, he's holding his hand, and you see Carey Mulligan turn and look, and the pain on her face. That was the moment when I just thought, you know what? I don't like this guy. It's not just that he's committing adultery. It's that he's flaunting it right in her face, and she just has to deal with it. And it's almost like he seems to think he's above moral codes that we live by, because he's above that, because he's an artist, because he's creating something beautiful. And he says this in the movie, that his music is the only thing he really cares about.
The creative person sits alone in this great studio that you see here and writes all by himself and communicates with the world in a very private way.
He's a little bit selfish. He's hurting people. He's hurting his wife and his children by the choices that he's making.
Our mom was the most elegant, delicious person.
And I don't know if it takes that kind of a person to create great art, but it is interesting how when you look at any of the great artists, they're difficult people. They have a mind that's just different. But my argument is that doesn't give you a license to cheat on your spouse, you know, because you think that he's moved on from that life. He's settled into marriage, and he's settled into being a husband, and he seems to be a great dad. He seems to be a good husband. But then there's another party that they have, and he meets this young man, and it's obvious that he's attracted to him, and then Carey Mulligan catches them about to kiss or whatever.
It seems like she already knew that his husband is attracted to men.
She knew exactly what the deal was.
I know exactly who you are. Let's give it a whirl.
Well, there's the scene with her and Sarah Silverman, and she makes the comment that I always knew what my husband was.
Seems I'm attracted to a certain type.
Maybe she always suspected.
You know, Lenny loves you. He really does. He's just cannot just be wholly one thing. He's
Maya Hawke was like, yeah, Dad, I heard some rumors that you're gay.
So the rumors aren't true.
But what's interesting is that Carey Mulligan said, don't you dare tell her the truth. And then Bradley Cooper said, those are just rumors. They're just jealous of me.
No, darling.
They never fought in front of us. They kept everything very well tidied and pretty well hidden.
And then later in the film, he runs into the same guy again, and he's married and has a child. That raises some questions too. Is this because of the time period that people couldn't live the way they wanted to live, and they had to just accept the role of being a husband and living a heterosexual life? And that may have been true for that other guy, but for Lenny, it's not necessarily true, because he seemed to be more in love with her than anyone in his life.
Does she want her husband to stop being gay? Or what does she want?
She wants him to stop cheating on her. This idea that, you know, he's suppressing his true self. Well, if that's the case, then you shouldn't have married her and had children.
There's a price for being in my brother's orbit, you know that.
You need to choose. You want to stay in this relationship, or do you want to go with this young man? But it seemed like he wanted to do both and have no consequences for it.
It cost her everything to stick with it. It was really tough for her, and I think it contributed to her early death, in a way.
Felicia Montealegre died of lung cancer in 1978 at the age of 56.
Then the last scene of this movie is the continuation of the first scene.
And the opening of the movie is a quote by Bernstein, which basically talks about contradiction. And so you know that he's going to be a contradiction as a person, that he's trying to be two things. He wants to have a wife and kids, but he also has homosexual desires. And it's like, how is that going to work?
She had a wonderful, rich life, and mostly wonderful marriage, and a lot of love.
And if I do have a complaint, you know, I thought they were going to go into more details about West Side Story and how he created the music for this and that.
Too soon.
You didn't really see him working on that stuff and being a part of the process.
Guys, thanks for watching. If you've seen the movie, let us know in the comments below what you think. Tell us how we're wrong. Negative comments welcome here. We'll see you again next time. Bye.
Adios.